So, in case anybody doubts where I come down on this movie, you guys hear me talk a lot about classy grindhouse. This is the other kind of grindhouse. This is grindhouse. Exactly, Tad. And I don't even care. I don't know fuck all about Judge Dredd. I knew Judge Dredd because heavy metal bands I was into was really into Judge Dredd, and then that Pinball Machine came out in about '93, and then they made that terrible Stallone movie. But then I saw this, I'm like, oh yeah, well now I get it. Like he's fucking mean, and they hired Carl Urban, and he never takes the helmet off.
You don't see his eyes once. He doesn't smile once.
There is a scene in the movie where there are other people not taking their helmet off, and you kind of forget who's who, and that was a choice. But I'll tell you, man, the thing about this movie that still completely puts it over the top for me, steals every scene.
Oh, absolutely.
Shooting this on breaks from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Mama from Lena Headey. She was great.
And I actually thought
she's a Brit, right?
She's plucky and charming. I like her. I mean, it looks like it costs $20 at times, but that's for the for the grindhouse.
They shot it all in Johannesburg.
Like that's
and it's shot in South Africa.
And a couple scenes
looks like
that's about it. The exteriors are great. But
the CG is bad. The look, it looks so cheap.
Oh, the CG is not bad.
Cheap.
The CG is great.
This is the real deal. She fucking killed it.
The CG is perfect for what it is.
Olivia Thirlby, the one who plays Anderson in this one, it was such an interesting experience kind of watching her do this, because one of the things, this is tough guy world. This is like armor and machine guns and people just like settling shit by blowing the crap out of it. And then you had this girl who was decidedly tiny with the armored, she's wearing like the armored outfit with a little
gets into it though. She blows a couple of
I kept worrying that she's gonna get her head's gonna get injured.
That's literally Carl Urban says you don't have your helmet, or you forgot your helmet. She's like, no, it fucks with the
psychic thing.
The psychic thing. And he goes, so a bullet to the skull won't do that?
Yeah. They hang a lantern on the thing, but the thing is, I realize it's neat because it actually kind of keeps her a vulnerable character. Because you think that she's gonna run into some, and it never happens. She actually gets to the whole film without a scratch, but
no, she doesn't. She gets fucking shot. She gets
shot. Takes on the side. You're right.
Yeah. Well, that thing is, but that in this film like this, that counts as not a scratch.
It's a flesh wound.
It's a good guy getting shot, not a bad guy getting shot. A bad guy getting shot in these movies is in the fucking head. The good guy getting shot is in the shoulder or the abdomen.
Goes right through, and they put the thing on. I don't know, the sci-fi thing on there, and they're fine.
The first guy Dredd shoots in this, who isn't the guy in the mall, the first guy in Peachtree who he shoots in the fucking leg twice, and then once in the chest when he goes down, right? Because they're coming down the stairs, and he's just like pop, 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 and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that works, I guess.
I will tell you. So I got through about half of the Stallone Dredd last night, and on the good side, the production value is, I mean, for 1995 standards, it's got scale,
spectacular,
and there's a lot of practical effects that look really.
They built a shitload of sets for this.
It is undone on every level because it is cheesy in all the ways that this movie is mean.
Right.
And comparing the two side by side, I really, it's quite striking.
See, I would argue though that in this movie's attempt to be mean, it's incredibly fucking cheesy. Like it just thinks it's so fucking cool, and it's like not at all.
It is cool.
No, it's super cool.
It's like this. Sorry, I hate Lena Headey. I hate the look of everyone in this movie. Like this cyberpunk. It looks like it's like 15 years too old for when it came out. Like this is what downtrodden punk killer psychopaths look like, right? They all look like this. I'm like, oh my fucking god, dude! Like the set.
No, I will take
costume design.
I will take that everyone here looks like an extra in Chappie. That's fine, but that's not the worst part about Chappie.
Well, there's
that fucking band is the worst part about Chappie.
Chappie's the worst part about
Chappie's.
I was remiss. The other thing, this was the thing for me. Like after the Alex Garland, after this, I'm like, I will watch anything you've got your name on, and every single thing that guy has done, whether he's written it, directed it, or both, I've either loved it or liked it. And I know that most of you guys, I don't think, liked Annihilation Ex Machina.
Yeah,
he
More
wrote the
devs.
story and screenplay.
I was thinking about that. I'm the opposite. I fucking hate almost everything that guy
I love
does.
everything he's done.
I wish he would just stop. The only thing I liked was Ex Machina, and I still have some problems with it.
Hold on. We're giving him too much authorship in this. He's one of 3 writers in this one, and
Yeah,
he's
he's not really all over this, but
No. Hang on. Hold on.
when I saw his name was on, I said,
first of all, no, he wrote 16 different drafts of what would eventually become the final version of this. He has the screenplay credit, and he literally almost went to the DGA for director credit on this because the studio basically barred Travis from editing it.
Go look at that Travis's resume after this movie. It's almost non-existent.
Oh yeah,
Right.
well that's the thing. Well, I don't know if this film made money or not. I don't think
It did not.
no, it was a
They put it
huge
out-
flop. It
they
didn't
put
even
it
make
out-
its budget back.
They put it out only in 3D in England, which was supposed to be a big market for it because 2000 AD is a British comic, so they expected it to be big there. People didn't want to go see it in 3D. And they put it out in America the first week of September, which is where you send a movie to die.
Yeah,
It cost $50 million to make, and worldwide to this date, still it's only made $41 million.
No, it's made more than that in
51
streaming
million adjusted. It's actually
maybe
it's a fairly cheap movie, which is
yeah, for this kind of movie. But I just mean it didn't even make its budget back.
No, there's thing is in terms of like we were talking about in terms of how everyone looks and like haggard and like kind of thing. There's apocalyptic films are there's a through line. There's ones that are kind of like Children of Men is like it's still people have jobs and have cars and
but that shit looks dope to me. Children of Men, like that looks real.
Like,
this looks like it's forced. They're trying
like,
to make
Mad
it look.
Max Fury Road, which is like everything's falling apart and dead, or like
love that too.
Book of
Love
Eli
that too.
But this is somewhere in the middle. This is like
this is
shit
10
falling apart
years
really seriously.
This is 10 years after the nuclear war.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is they're trying to survive whatever is society is left. They're trying so you see the American flag and it only has 6 stars on it.
The six mega
because there's only 6 states left.
Right.
And they're all this.
Right.
Like I love this shot at the end. I think
the exterior stuff I thought looks really, really good.
Actually, I like the fact it was just a bottle story. It's all
the
one
CG
building.
looks so bad.
Now, Scott, have you seen the first Raid movie?
Don't think I have. No.
Alex Garland has.
Yeah, well, weirdly, they came out at about the same time.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Like, it's basically the same movie. It's a bottle movie. Takes place. It's like you got to go. They're going up
in a high rise.
The bad guy.
Okay.
It's extremely brutal.
Maybe that's what happened.
Extremely brutal. It's fucking great. But yeah, it's like weirdly the same movie, but they came out almost exactly the same time. Right. So I don't know who ripped who off. Maybe they just didn't. But
they probably didn't. It's probably just creative.
Maybe
they Armageddon Deep Impact story. Maybe people have the same idea. The Zeitgeist thing. Who knows?
Ripped off who, Jim?
Die Hard.
Well,
the Raid came out in 2011.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not came out in the 90s, didn't into the 80s.
Film it and release
it.
They
were filming it the same. There was overlap for sure.
Well, I actually, all things considered, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was just it had a nice, easy storyline. It developed really well. I just again there was that sense of peril, especially with the poor little girl with the exposed head. It got more and more interesting as it got along. I love if you're gonna kill your bad guy off by giving him a drug that slows everything down and throwing him off of a balcony, do that because that was was the best.
So many people get thrown off of the balcony.
Man, that was so fun.
A lot of people go there's a lot more than 3 tarps covering people at the end of this movie.
Yes.
There's a lot of people go off that side.
Yeah. Actually, that atrium is probably a bad place to hang out at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
John, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you hate this movie?
Oh yeah, he's been super quiet.
Mr. Super quiet over there.
You've noticed.
Loves this kind of shit.
It's probably Chris. It's probably your fault that I watched this movie the first time 10 years ago or so. You were probably the one, right?
Well, I was singing its praises the second I got out of it.
And when I found out, it was going to be the pick, I was like, okay, maybe I'll like it better this time.
Like, God damn it!
I do not like it better this time. I'm pretty much okay. I'm pretty much in Jared's camp in that this movie it's a tonal problem. There's three problems.
That's what I like about it.
To me,
Right,
the
that sounds
biggest
amazing.
problem is that this movie takes itself so seriously. It's like, how do you approach a comic book movie, right? It's like, there's a lot of ways to go about it. I think Donner's Superman is a really good solution to how do you tell a superhero story, you know, on a film. I think I had another one. Verhoeven's RoboCop is an obvious comparison point. I know that's probably not a comic book.
Hold on.
What?
RoboCop borrows extremely liberally from Judge Dredd.
Correct.
The first RoboCop design is literally the Judge Dredd helmet.
But you don't
Okay.
have. But one thing you have.
RoboCop's a much better movie because it.
I'm just saying you
It's
can't
gotta
say
s-
that this movie liberally borrows from the
Because
thing that
Verhoeven
RoboCop.
uses
But you can say that-
sarcasm and-
This movie has no.
Oh,
This
Right.
movie has
This
no
movie has
idea
no
that it's
moral
ridiculous,
center.
and superhero movies
No,
are
it has no
by
moral center at all.
Thank
come
you.
on. Well, hold on.
superhero
Judge
movies
Dredd's
are
about
by their very
fascism.
nature
And it's-
ridiculous, and
No,
this
hold
movie
on,
thinks
wait.
it's trying to be taken seriously, and that's what
Yeah,
makes it
but
so
It
awful.
is not trying to be
Okay,
taken
well, what about
seriously. You're
Watchmen?
wrong
Okay, what
about
about
that.
Watchmen,
But
John? What
you
about
have-
Watchmen?
you have
Watchmen's. Well, why are we
criminals and you
talking
have
about Watchmen?
fascists.
Because
That's
it's a
not a
comic
good
book.
movie.
It's literally a comic book movie that
But
takes itself
this is not a
extremely
superhero
seriously.
Well, it's
Right.
also trash.
Which is also not a good movie.
Oh my God!
Done.
Okay, we hit some sort of fundamental.
This
difference.
movie,
I just think
He has a gun.
it's just okay.
Fancy gun.
There's an absolute grimness to this thing. This
Yes,
whole
there is.
grimdark
Yeah, there
approach.
absolutely is.
That it's like, okay, we're gonna make Carl Urban make this face the entire time. That makes him look more like the comic book character. I guess.
like this the whole fucking
Actually, both of those were his
Everybody's gonna
choices.
have to stay paid. Listen
Yeah.
to me, you motherfucker.
it's just so stupid and forced. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
like a
exactly-
bunch of like 13-year-olds made this, and they were like, it's gonna be so cool.
It just wants to be taken seriously. And okay,
It doesn't
okay, so
want to
if
be
you go
taken
grim,
seriously. It wants to be cool. Those are two
it's not
different
cool.
things. Yes,
it's
it
neither.
is.
It's
It
neither.
is extremely cool.
it's I just I couldn't take any of it seriously.
It's
Um,
trying to be cool.
I mean, it's like
it's trying to be really cool.
like you could take a serious approach to a comic book movie and then you'd get The Dark Knight, but I don't think anybody involved with this production has.
Oh,
the
well, hold
talent.
on. You can't make fun of the way that he fucking grimaces and talk about the fucking Dark Knight.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck
That's
you.
a
Go back and watch
silly,
that
silly
again.
film in a lot.
That's a valid point, but I will argue that John's point about the handling of the Dark Knight, the complexities, the production, all of it is vastly superior to this.
I'm
piece
not
of shit.
saying I don't
And
like the
also-
Dark Knight. I'm saying you can't
But yes,
make
that voice
argument.
is comically stupid that Batman does. But this is Carl Urban essentially doing Batman the entire time and never taking off his, thing. And you're just
You know,
like, can we like? I would have liked this movie more if he talked
Yeah,
like,
even
"Hey, why don't you
RoboCop
guys come on
is
in?"
dumb,
Like
though.
that would have
Jared,
been
stop
hilarious
right-
because you
Jared,
wouldn't
stop right
expect
there.
it.
Jared, you're absolutely right. This is a lot like The Dark Knight in terms of Batman talking like Batman, like wearing the thing.
And also wanting to be
It's the
taken
same goddamn
seriously.
movie. The thing is,
You're
I think it
wrong.
boils down to
It
whether or not you
doesn't.
like Batman versus whether or not Judge Dredd. That's basically it.
I
Which
like
brings me
both.
to my second
Yeah,
objection.
That's the thing.
Or maybe it's my
like,
third.
Which franchise you like better?
I don't like Judge Dredd. Yes, move on.
There's that.
Yeah.
I mean, the politics of this movie are at best questionable.
No,
Yeah.
this Judge Dredd is about fascism. Judge Dredd is not a good
Yeah,
guy.
No,
The
he's
cops
not.
are the
No.
good guys in this movie. The cops
No.
are the only good guys. The
No,
poor
they're
people
not.
are
Nobody's
revolting.
good.
The original
Poor
Judge
people-
Dredd is about fascism too.
The poor
It's like-
people are gross,
The
and
cops
all
are
the
also
villains are so bad that
Yeah.
we need cops that have judicial powers and powers to sentence and carry out
I don't think
executions.
John, you're
I don't
exactly
think the
correct.
movie
That's exactly what
believes
it's
that.
about.
I
Furthermore,
don't-
we
I don't
also
think the
need
mo- I don't think the
furthermore
movie
we also
believes
need
that.
psychic cops who can rifle through your thoughts and memories without a warrant
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
find out what you've been doing.
You're
this-
really- you're selling the premise.
This is
of
an
film.
apocalypse movie. It
Yeah, you're selling the
sucks.
premise of this film very well.
Everything
John. Yes,
sucks.
That's exactly what it's about.
I
This
don't want to
movie
watch
is about
that
a world-
movie.
Including the
Also,
movie.
also, by the way, the
This movie's about a
the-
world that sucks. It's just cool.
I thought Verhoeven did a better job with Starship Troopers, where at
Yes.
least the fascists are made fun of.
The military
Yes.
state,
Wait,
right
are you talking
there.
about
Yes.
Archie
I,
getting-
I don't think they're making fun of fascism. I think they think that not RoboCop. They think Judge Dredd is cool.
No,
They think the cops are the cool
Right,
people in
yes.
this movie.
No, one of Alex Garland's drafts originally for this movie, he's fighting democracy advocates. Like they wanted to hang a
But I-
way bigger lantern on it.
That's
I think
too bad
no,
they
but
took that out.
I think John's right. I think the majority of people who watch this are
taking
thinking
it at face
exactly
value.
what he's talking about. Yeah, they're like,
No,
this is
I'm
fucking
sorry,
cool.
people.
I would.
I'm
well,
sorry, people are
I'd flip a
dumb.
coin on that. I really
This movie's
would,
an
because-
apology for the Stallone.
It's the same reason I
Right.
don't watch reality TV, because I think a lot of people are not smart enough to realize how much fucking garbage that is, and they go, "This is like fun and entertaining and cool," but they don't actually go, "It's a guilty pleasure."
Right,
you know?
right.
People misinterpret if people misinterpret your movie. That's the problem of the viewer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the
I mean, the
problem.
artist makes what the artist makes, and we interpret it how we. I agree with that 100%. I just think that this artist thinks this movie is good, and it's not.
I also see. And
I also think this movie is good.
I think the fascist.
Hold on,
And
stop.
you're also
Hold on,
wrong.
wait. Who is the protagonist of this film?
No one.
The drug.
The
don't know.
producer.
Brad.
No, Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson.
Yeah, sure.
No,
Yeah.
because
Is that
even
the girl?
she,
Is that
girl.
Phoebe?
She's the one.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
the-
that's-
And I
she's
like
the
her
lead
as an
there, kind of-
actress. I
you're
think this is a
seeing
good
the entire
cast.
film through her eyes, and you're seeing her develop and make decisions about whether or not to be a cop. At the
What
end,
happened to
she
her?
said no.
All right.
isn't
Well,
she
if you
more
took
stuff?
out all the sci-fi, and this was
She's
just
in a ton of shit, man.
seasoned
She's
cop and rookie movie, is it
Yeah.
a good seasoned cop and rookie movie?
yes.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. It's
No.
actually. It's almost
I think it's- I was
stereotypical
kinda
cop and
hokey.
rookie movie.
A little hokey. Although I will tell you, the one time this movie worked for me on its own terms was her scene where she lets the hacker guy go and justifies it to him. And I was like, for a second,
Recognize him?
all my
Domhnall Gleeson.
Oh
Donald
yeah, I was
Gleeson.
gonna say I would
Donald
kill
Gleeson.
him just for being Domhnall Gleeson, because I fucking.
And I
hate
said,
that
and I
guy.
Sorry,
thought
John,
that
take
was a good scene. I enjoyed that. I'm enjoying this movie right now.
I'm yelling about movies. Veteran.
Domhnall
Gleeson.
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 Yes.
I love his father's work. I can't stand him at all.
He's great in this. I think you
he's
guys are
great
judging.
at
It was
Fun.
unexpected. It took me
You
like
guys
a
are judging
minute
this
to
by way too high a standard. This
Yeah.
movie is on par with The Exterminator from 1981, which I consider to be one of the all-time classic Times Square grindhouse movies.
It's
Fucking
it's-
grindhouse.
It is.
It's Conan the Barbarian with
No, it's
No,
that one
that's-
with the-
that's
I
my
like that movie.
grindhouse.
It's those ones
Sisu was
with the-
Grindhouse too, and we just talked about how much we like that. This movie
It's like
is
this
not
one
on
with
that level.
Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all those guys together called Red or something like that, or what's what it's called?
No,
no
they-
Expendables.
Expendables. It reminds me of that a
Expendables.
bit. It's just fun.
Oh,
It's just you're
no,
there.
it's
You're
not as
watching
bad as
love.
that. That's way
Not
worse.
fun.
Yeah, those are
Okay, those are
bad.
terrible. But okay.
Oh,
it's
and
not-
my third objection, which kind of ties into the
Yes,
whole
John.
fascist kind of jerk off quality to it, is the fetishistic approach to depicting violence. All that slow-mo. It's like, we're not just going to shoot somebody in the head. We're going to watch their face get peeled apart
we
in
sure are.
slow
But it looks so
motion.
fucking fake that it
Hey,
didn't bother.
talk,
Like
talk to your friend Tarantino about
it
that.
looks like a cartoon when they do
I
it.
don't
The
know, there's
cheek
something
coming
with
out.
There's something about, I mean,
slow-mo, like the bullet hits the CG blood. Tarantino didn't even do that.
No, wait.
I
No,
just
it
feel
looks
couple
it's
times.
CG.
there's something
it's like,
unsavory
Some
about
of
it because
those
I can
people's
feel the
faces
filmmakers
look
going like,
cars.
yeah, they're jerking off onto their
They're jerking
on
off
their
to
edit
it,
suite.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's gross. It's gross.
No, they literally were like, what if we made this as violent as the comic books are, but live
Exactly.
action?
Yeah,
Like,
But then they
much.
decided let's not make it look good though or real.
Well, this is again.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
again, that's a style. That's a style.
Also, how did you see-
That's
how did
no.
you-
This is an art. This is an art argument. You don't like the art. Chris and I do like the art. Like that's the. This is like staring at a Rothko and going like, "Well, I don't get it," like, or "I don't like it."
Too many
Like
notes,
you like
basically.
Rothko or you don't
like everything
Rothko.
about it.
Like, you like
Also,
this or you
how
don't.
did you watch this, Jared? Did you watch it
There's
on
nobody
computer?
can
I
talk
like Rothko.
anybody
I-
off of their
No,
ledge.
I saw this when it came out and I wasn't impressed. I just said, okay, yeah, whatever. And
Well,
now having to watch it again, I'm like, oh, I actually like it less.
The thing is, I watched this the second time, this time with on a computer screen, and the colors just. I thought they put a lot of. I can't fault the film's look because it looked
Extremely processed.
I can't either. I think it
was
looks really good.
process. It looked great.
Oh, I think it looks cheap. It
Uh-huh.
looks so
All right,
cheap.
but wait,
I think it looks like a comic book.
This is a good yelling.
Yeah,
Yes,
I guess they-
literally
yeah,
everyone's
I'll
yelling
give you
about
that.
everything on this thing.
Yeah, it's really yelly.
I just want to point out I did some math on it just because I thought it was fun. And this just doesn't actually tie in together, but the amount of money that they would have spent in today's dollars on the ammo for those miniguns
I was just gonna ask you about that.
$85,000. It's the same amount of money that
That's
they
the
wanted.
price of a Santa Claus.
That's
It's
the
the
price
price of
of-
Santa Claus. I was blown away.
This is
When
in
I
the
hit-
almanac of who gives
Oh,
a shit.
Fucking-
that's
Fucking-
why these two films are together.
When I
That's
hit
right.
enter,
Oh.
when I hit enter the
$85,000,
calculator
that's the
program and saw
center of the entire
$85,000,
thing.
I laughed out loud. I
Okay,
was
good
like,
enough.
"Oh fuck, you're."
Well, it's good that you can amuse yourself, my
But
friend.
talking about the way it looks again, just for a second, I want to say that a few times I had to get up and do stuff, so I hit pause, and then the big Dredd title popped up, and whatever picture was behind that when I happened to hit pause, it looked fucking great. It looked like a comic book. It looked like a storyboard come to life. You know, it looked like a comic book.
Is it that one?
Except with like this.
No, he's saying that the
No, I'm
word
saying, like, when
the
you
title
hit
comes, but
pause
it's
when
like
you're
the
watching
scene
it-
is paused.
Except with
Whenever
the
you pause
nice
it, then the title
saturated
comes
color.
up over the freeze frame.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
one time it was a shot of Lena Headey looking sideways and with three of her cop
if you just
goons
put
coming
Dredd,
in. Another was
if you just put
some other shot. It
Dredd
just looked
somewhere
great.
Up here,
Yeah, it did.
if
I
you
thought
just
the film
put
looked good.
Dredd somewhere up here in that font, it
Yeah.
would look amazing.
Mhm.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Well, either way. All right. Well, there it is.
I'm trying to find something
Mm-hmm.
good to say about
Well, we're never gonna figure this out.
It
So,
was short.
oh, Jim,
it.
it was short. I'll give
it's
you-
exactly
no,
the same
no,
length as the other Judge.
It
Dredd.
was not short. It was crisp. It was bing
I
bang
really
in
didn't.
out. No
I
bullshit,
don't
which
even
I like.
remember the other
Yeah.
Judge Dredd.
It's a clown
I just
show.
remember it
Oh,
had
Jim, I think
Stallone
Jim.
in
It's
I think Jim
Stallone,
needs
yeah.
a nice quiet corner here.
Yeah,
to
let's
express
give
himself.
Jim his
He
time.
hates
here.
it
From
That's-
Mexico. Here comes
I-
Jim.
Yeah, it didn't engage me, I guess. You know, I don't usually say that I don't care about people because I like a lot of movies where I don't care about the people who are in the movies. But I really didn't like the whole judge thing. And then
Mhm.
some of
They're
them are
bad.
corrupt. So it's like, oh, so some of them are more
Great. Some of them
evil
are
than other
worse.
ones.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually worse. And then the criminals are all just like loathsome creatures.
Well,
Yeah.
they're like I
What
don't know.
can
They're
I
just like
say?
little cloney.
That's why something has to be done,
Nothing.
Jim.
Uh-oh.
Something has to be done with these
Yes,
people.
something. We need a nice, strong leader.
Oh, what happened here?
Yes.
Well, sure. What happened to Tad?
Uh-oh.
I'm
He-
still here.
He's
You
become
turned into a
uh,
logo.
He's
You're
a
a lot-
logo.
Yeah.
It turned
No.
into a logo.
He is El Gato.
He's El Gato. You're a cat now, dude. You're the cat.
Yeah.
He's
El
the cat.
Gato.
There's a
Anyway.
cafe I go to called
When he
El
comes back,
Gato
we'll do
Feo,
thumbs, but we have to wait a little bit.
What does that mean, Jim?
the ugly cat.
Oh, nice.
El Gato Feo.
El Gato Feo.
Yeah,
Music's
yeah.
also
El
good.
Gato Feo.
Uh-huh.
The music is good.
Really good coffee.
My grandma used to call that El Gato Feo. Is that when they go, whoa,
It's fine. It'll
there
just
he is.
let it go. Let it go. It'll,
right,
it'll
all
be all right.
fine.
Wow.
He says settle in. All right.
Glitch core.
Did
Right, well, we can-
something
like, we
happen?
We
Yeah,
could
that
probably
goes
go to the
along.
cards on this one too.
I mean,
No, I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I like this.
I picked the least violent horror
All right.
movie and the most violent comic book
See,
movie.
look, how wonderfully divided we are in this, almost 50-50, right?
Mm.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I
I
love
like
that.
this so much. I bought it.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very
Yeah.
entertained.
Yeah,
I
here's
was
my
like,
thumbs up in front of my Blu-ray.
I would buy it for you, Chris, but
I
didn't
don't
buy
have
it.
to. I got it already.